This news segment is brought to you by Greg Dam for County Commissioner, District 3, protecting our rural life and water, paid for by a citizen to elect Greg Dam.
Air pollution is associated with chronic health problems in children like bronchitis and asthma. In Southern California, air pollution levels have been decreasing over the past 20 years. A new study examined whether those reductions have helped to improve respiratory symptoms in the state's children.
This health tip is brought to you by
Desert View Hospital and Mountain Valley Physicians Group. Don't put your health on hold. We have time for you. Call us to schedule your appointment. 775-751-7100.
Planes, trains, and automobiles are ever present in Southern California. They all contribute to what's called ambient air pollution.
Ambient air pollution is particulate matter, which are microscopic particles. Some of them, especially the fine ones, actually deposit deep into the lung and are known to cause a lot of respiratory problems in children and humans in general.
Dr. Kiaros Barani from the University of Southern California and co-authors followed just over 4,600 children in 8 Southern California communities across 3 different time periods, from 1993 to 2012. In addition to monitoring air quality, the researchers looked at children with and without asthma and whether they reported respiratory symptoms like bronchitis, congestion, phlegm production, or a daily cough for 3 months in a row during the previous year.
In the children with asthma, we found at the beginning of the study, in the first cohort, almost 48% of them had bronchitic symptoms in the last year. Now, in the children without asthma, this number was only about 11%.
Air pollution levels dropped significantly during the observation period. Bronchitic symptoms were compared in 3 groups of children from 1993 to 2012.
The prevalence of bronchitic symptoms went down by about 32% in those children with asthma. We also found that it went down by about 21% in those children without asthma. These reductions were significant and important in both children with asthma and children without asthma. So all children benefited from these reductions in air pollution. Protecting our environment really leads to better respiratory health in children.
Catherine Dolf, The JAMA Report.
Dr. Brahaney says the findings from Southern California can help guide air quality efforts in other locations in the U.S. and around the world.
There will be a Nye County Commissioner candidate debate hosted by the Pahrump Valley Times Friday morning beginning at 9 a.m. at Rosemary Clark Middle School on North Blagg Road. District 2 candidates start at 9 a.m., District 1 at 10:45, and District 3 candidates begin at 12:30. The public is invited to attend.
The Nevada Department of Transportation is undertaking a $3.49 million widening of State Route 160 between Rainbow Avenue and Calvada Boulevard here in Pahrump. Las Vegas Paving is the general contractor. The project will expand a heavily traveled 1 3/4 mile stretch of highway from 2 to 4 travel lanes, plus add a center turn lane and flatten side slope shoulders for safety vehicle turnouts in some areas. The project also calls for installing new drainage pipe and hydro seeding surrounding desert landscape. The project will begin in early July with anticipated completion by December.
And 7 new law enforcement officers have joined the ranks of the Nye County Sheriff's Department. They will be utilized in the detention center.
501P 2016, attention!
We had a graduation.
Detention officers, right?
Yes, 7 new ones.
Are these going to be used here in the local detention center?
Absolutely.
And so they've been training since April, right?
Yes, 11 weeks.
What do they go through?
Oh, they went through everything.
The same thing regular street officers go through?
Almost identical.
But a little bit more geared towards the detention center?
A lot more geared toward detention center. They're going to go in and search cells and people, and they have more of a function of hands-on with people than the patrol officers do.
Close to 60 applications. We lose a lot in the physical testing portion. For instance, I think we're at about 20 that showed up for that test, or 20 that succeeded through that test, and then there's oral boards and a written test. And at the end of it, we ended up with 10. 3 of them didn't make it through the academy, and we ended up with 7 to graduate.
Are you going to be having any other openings?
We will. We have several positions open now. We were waiting for this academy to finish so that we could start a second academy. This is the first Cat 3 jail academy in Nye County. And so it's been very time-consuming for us. Traditionally in the past, they only educated detention deputies by using books, like a home study type program, and then they would join patrol academies for things like defensive tactics and firearms. And when we reevaluated it, Sheriff Worley and I decided that they needed to have the training and expertise to survive, and so we put together this academy to be able to do that for them.
So when will the next classes start?
We're shooting for June, but we have to recover and start moving. This was a very trying academy because, as you saw, our numbers were very few, and running a jail with 150 to 170 inmates, depending on the day, with 4 or 5 staff members is extremely difficult. And we have to manage the Tonopah Justice Court, the Beatty Justice Court, and the 2 Pahrump Justice Courts and the 2 district courts at the same time, with staff not enough to do that. So this one was super trying. So these 7 joining the ranks will make that much easier on the next academy, because we should have a better staffing to at least bring us to some level of fluidity.
And here's Tonya Brum with this week's Senior Tips.
Welcome to Health and Safety Tips for Seniors. Joining me this week is Sheila Winn with Lee Funeral Services. Sheila is here with us to give us very important information about pre-planning.
The funeral plans are pretty standard across the nation, but anything written here will travel with you across the United States. In addition, I have another policy that for a $285 one-time payment will return you from anywhere in the world to your home of preference or your home of residence in order to take care of all funeral plans with no additional charges.
So why is it important to put plans in place before that ultimate final moment?
It's more important for the family left behind as well as it is for you. It keeps your children and family from fighting, and it also gives them the greatest gift you can give them, to let them know that you're still taking care of them when they're not here with you.
All right, and we'll have more News 46 for you after the break.